Hey everyone, happy Friday. Back with the Friday Flows series and joined today by a guest from our labs team, Michael Tolan. How you doing, Michael?
Good, Blake. How are you?
Great. Thanks for joining today.
Cool, cool.
So we've been
Yeah,
running a bit of a mini series, not just in Friday Flows, but in general around cloud security, and I've hosted a number of webinars looking at how Tines help support Azure, AWS, and some of the major public and private cloud workflows that often come up. And we have a webinar coming up with the team from Mars around how they use Wiz and how Wiz and Tines interact with each other. And so thought it'd be good to double down on that theme here with you. And you've pulled a great story here to help retrieve and respond to Azure guest accounts. So let's kick it off. What help us understand what this story does?
sure. So I guess this is a great example of kind of the power of times that you can automate something that's kind of a simple process, but also very manual, could be kind of very time consuming. So this story, as it says, retrieve and respond to Azure guest accounts detected by Wiz. So Wiz is great at kind of seeing, hey, have you got any vulnerabilities in your environment, either with your web apps or like anything that you can connect it up to. So what this story does here basically sees, have you got any guest accounts in your Azure environment? Potentially you needed to bring on contractors or any outside people to help as part of work or something like that. Potentially that they've left some time ago and they might still have access to your Azure environment, which is kind of security issue in itself. So what this story does here, basically you can set this on a schedule, get it to run, see if you have any guest accounts in your Azure environment. You'll then get an email saying that like, hey, we've spotted some things by Wiz to see if you have any issues. And then we can jump into pages just to kind of remediate, either revoke the sign-in sessions for that user or disable the user completely. So if I just jump into the story here, so I've kind of prepped it a bit beforehand. So you can see here, we're just doing a call out to Wiz, seeing, hey, have you got any open findings for guest accounts here? Just a quick shout out since we've been kind of like highlighting them to a degree. Because this calls out to Wiz and Microsoft, Entra, Azure, whatever you want to call it. We do have specific guides for those. If you have any difficulty getting those authentications to work, very detailed, have pictures set up so you know exactly where you need to look and what you need to do. So just want to call out those. So you can run this either on a schedule or ad hoc to see have you got any guest accounts. If Wiz finds any users which might be worth looking at, you'll get this really nice formatted email saying, hey, we've detected 4 guest accounts on Azure. These accounts can be viewed and actioned upon using the button below. So click into that. This will bring me to a nicely formatted Tines page saying that like, hey, these are all your guest accounts. Potentially you might want to revoke these. So for today, I'm just going to pick Yaniv and Anam. I'm going to click disable. Take that a second to run. And then your account review is complete. And so if I just jump into here, so go to my Azure Entra directory, so we can see you're currently enabled. If I click refresh, see disabled, so that account's gone. And then the other one that I had selected, enabled, refresh, and see it now here, disabled. So it's a great example of Tines doing something that you can do kind of manually, but just like having this automated process, getting the specific email to an inbox, highlighting that, hey, this could be something that you might want to look at, and then having the Tines pages capability that you can just jump in. You don't need to mess around with any of the Azure UI, open up more tabs, just do everything straight there within Tines and yeah, keeping your account and environment more secure.
Very cool. I love the remediation there. That was so easy. You get the email, one click of a button, pick the users and done. That's a great example.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes you don't need to, I guess, move the earth with any of these. If it's something that, if it's simple, but if it's something that you're doing often, that usually shows a lot more value. I've heard a good few times that the story that has maybe 5 or 10 actions but runs every 5 or 10 minutes is a lot more useful than something which might have like 50 or 60 actions and might only run once a month. So
Right.
yeah, Tines can support both small and large, whatever suits your needs.
Yeah, like get this workload off your plate. Go do something
Yeah, yeah,
more fun.
exactly. So more
Cool.
valuable.
Yeah, totally. Well, that was really helpful. So obviously, if you have Wiz and Azure, you can head to the story library right here and import that into your tenant. And then also, if you do have Wiz, I will post the upcoming webinar that we are co-hosting with the Wiz team. And Walter Porto, who's the director of security over at Mars Corporation, will be discussing how they use Tines and Wiz to improve cloud security and walk through some of the workflows that they use as well. Michael's just showing if you want to go check out all Wiz stories in the library, head over there, type in Wiz, and you can see what's been built already. Well, great. I think that wraps it up. Thanks so much, Michael.
Sure. Thanks, Blake. Have a great weekend.
You too. Happy Friday. Bye.